We putting work, turning nothing into something. They feelings hurt, we turning nothing into something. Give a fuck if they don't like me, cause all this bread I count excites me. Turning nothing to something, nothing into something, turning nothing into something.
What up? What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to, what is this, episode 53 of Blunt Thoughts Live, where we bring you the rah-rah. That's what we do here on Blunt Thoughts, baby. We bring you rah-rah content. That's what I'm being told. And listen, we lean into all of it. And tonight, we kick off the hot stove officially, as baseball was over last night. As, you know, if you're paying attention, as like, you know, Met fans, I'm paying attention to the World Series, but everybody was commenting on the World Series. And we saw that the Dodgers wrapped it up for their back-to-back championship. And in my opinion, man, we saw a great series. Like Magic Johnson said last night in the post game, baseball won. And unfortunately, only one team could win, and that was the Dodgers. And I know that did not make none of us happy pretty much. I don't know anybody that was rooting for the Dodgers. It's like the whole country was rooting for Canada, believe it or not. Funny how that works out, huh? But yeah, man, so we're going to kick off the offseason as today is day number 1 of the offseason. But let me not say we're going to kick off the hot stove. As shout out to my guy, Ant, Subway to Shea. He kicked off the hot stove this morning as he picked up last year doing the Sunday morning show at 10 a.m., which I thought was a great idea. Right before the football gets kicked off, he gives the people some good Mets talk and stuff, and he did a great job today. So shout out to my guy, Ant. And now we're going to try to cap off a Sunday fun day with some blunt men's content like we like to do. And for that, we're going to have a guest. We are going to have a guest tonight. But allow me a second before we get into that to wish my brother, who's no longer with us, a happy 43rd birthday. Miss you, bro. Miss you. And we're going to dedicate this show to my brother. So that's my personal thing. But enough of that nonsense. Let's bring the man of the hour today, the guy who's going to join me to talk about this Mets hot stove and what we're going to see, what we're not going to see, what we may see, what we want to see, what we hope happens, what we don't hope happens, all that good stuff. And that is my guy, Randy. My guy, Randy, who does his own thing all over the social media. He's on YouTube. He's on TikTok. He's on X. He does his stuff. He calls it Randy Talks Mets. And here he is. What's going on, Randy? How you doing, my brother?
Bro, I'm doing good, bro. Thank you for having me, man. At the end of the day, man, the World Series, you know, it was crazy, but it was one of the best that I've ever watched. And yeah, I didn't want the Dodgers to win. I wanted the Blue Jays to win. It was like I was a Blue Jays fan, but obviously I'm a Met fan. But I was rooting for Vladdy to get his first title. And it didn't happen. But at the end of the day, that's baseball. But now we can kick off this offseason, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Like you said, it's baseball, and you know, I was in the space earlier today, man. Shout out to my guy Stan and Hector on X. They had a space earlier today, and you know, some people are like, man, the Blue Jays choked, and I had some people on. Really, I didn't hear that. I'm Kweisi. Let me people in the chat. Let me know if you hear an echo coming from Randy. I didn't hear it, but you know what? I probably should have my headphones on. Anyways, you know, some people say, George Springer killed the Blue, and I'm like, listen, nobody choked, nobody killed anybody. Randy Martino, nobody killed it. Shout out to my guy Jeffrey. Nobody killed anybody. Team had to lose, man. A team had to lose. Unfortunately, it was the Blue Jays. Let's just say the Dodgers made plays. They made enough plays to win. They made more winning plays. Maybe it was 1, maybe it was 2. You know, you want to say Barger got a little excited there on that lead and got himself doubled up in Game 6. Yeah, you know, but it was just good series. Like I said, I'm with Magic. Baseball won. I think we saw that. Yes, you go out there, you spend money, you amass all these stars. You're gonna give yourself a good chance to win. How the Dodgers have done the last 2 years. But we also saw that if you go out there and you play good baseball. You play good fundamental baseball. You play good defense. You put the ball in play, and you can also give yourself a chance to win and put yourself in good position to win a World Series. And that's what that Blue Jays did. They weren't able to do it, but that's what they did. But like you said, let's get on to what we really care about here on Blunt Thoughts and on Randy Talks Mets, and that is Mets baseball. And listen, I don't know about you, Randy, but the way I see it, this is a pivotal offseason for one and only David Stearns for a few reasons, right? One, it's year number 3 now. It's year number 3, offseason number 3, right? We need to start seeing some results. David Stearns came in here, rightfully so, on some evaluation. We're going to evaluate, trying to evaluate, see what we got here, whether it be the farm system, whether it be the guys in the major league level, all that good stuff. Well, all that stuff is done as far as I'm concerned. Evaluation time is over. You know what you got. It is now time, in my opinion, for David Stearns to choose a path. And when I say choose a path, Randy, and you can tell me how you feel about this, is are you going to try to compete and go out there and knock off the Dodgers? Or are you going to say to yourself, you know what, wait a minute. This team that I have here, no matter what the hell I do to it, there's no way I can compete with the Dodgers. So I'm going to step back and we're going to go another path now. And I'm going to rebuild or whatever the case may be. But he needs to decide.
Yeah, no, he needs to decide. He has to get it going. He he has to put the pressure. David Stearns has a lot of pressure. I think it's the most pressure that he has ever had in his career. And it's a big Mets offseason. They're gonna have to pick this up. They're going to have to starting pitching, get a second baseman. What they need to do, got to put the pressure on these guys, man. They got to put the Mets. They just got to get better. But you got to pony up, and you got to sign these guys, trade for these guys, use your amazing farm system that you have. You got to use it.
Well, it's funny you said that, right? Use the farm system. And there's different ways to use the farm system. That could be to bring up talent and make the team better that way. Or it could be to use this as assets, as resources to go out there and get better players in here and make the team better that way. But again, does David Stearns feel that way? I would think that he does, right? He tells us over and over how the goal is to compete every year for a World Series, even though if his actions have been a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was a little measured at first. But this season, he kept talking about, yeah, no, we're trying to win a World Series. We're trying to compete. We're trying to win a World Series, this and so on and so forth. Well, what I need to see from David Stearns now is to take that next step. See, again, someone said earlier in the space, oh, well, you know, this idea that David Stearns is a mid-market, a small market GM is not right. And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean? He needs to show that. That's what he's been. That's what he's been. Now, did a lot of people think or were hoping that he would come here and now with all these resources, with all these billions at his disposal, be able to do a lot better with his knowledge? That's what we were expecting. Now can he do it? Can he get out of his comfort zone? Can he understand that, hey, listen, maybe I couldn't make this move over here in Milwaukee because it would have handicapped me for a couple of years, but I can do it in New York and still be able to overcome it if it doesn't work out. He just did one this year that he should be able to move on from in a Frankie Montas, right? That was a bad move. That's a bad move. But if you do that in Milwaukee, you're probably effed for 2 years. You do that in New York, you can stash him, do whatever the hell you're going to do with him, because obviously he's going to opt in, right? And that shouldn't be a big deal. But I need David Stearns to change the narrative of being a small-time GM and show that he can handle New York. I know he's from New York.
Yeah, no, hands down, he needs to act like a big time GM, and he needs to get out of his comfort zone and change his little philosophy or whatever, that you don't want to sign a starting pitcher for so many years. You don't want to sign a reliever. You got to change that. So when you have, a Tarek Skubal or somebody like that, you got to go for that guy. You got to go for the prize possession. You see what the Dodgers are doing. That should be a blueprint to what the Mets should do. There you go. So that is what they should do.
No, yeah, listen. You could bring up Tarek Skubal, or you could talk about, but even before that, He has some tough decisions that are out of his comfort zone. And you could put him 1 and 1A. You could say which one is number one, and we could debate about which one is more important to bring back, and then so on and so forth. But forget about starting pitching. David Stearns doesn't sign relievers for long-term deals. David Stearns doesn't sign pitchers in their 30s for long-term deals. And what's a long-term deal, right? Well, I guess for a reliever in Edwin Diaz's situation, is a 5-year deal a long-term deal that makes David Stearns uncomfortable? Here we go with the bullshit that David Stearns made the biggest offer to Yamamoto. Whatever, man.
He made that offer because that was a young guy at the time. He was like 25 years old, and he was going through that blueprint of
The
something.
Mets were gonna make that offer whether David Stearns was here or not. That was already in the
Yeah, true,
works, man.
true,
That was
true.
already in the works. They had already been scouting Yamamoto. That was coming regardless.
And it was never gonna happen. Like, that's Otani's boy. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah, yeah, but
it was
that's forget about that. We're not even gonna get into that. I'm just saying. And shout out to M-Easy. M-Easy, today's not the day to piss me off. You share my brother's nickname. Don't piss me off today, man. It's my brother's birthday, bro. This is my guy, M-Easy. M-Easy gets me going right away. He knows how to get me going. And Quays likes to get me going too because he puts his fucking comments up on the screen. No comments right now. Nah, I'm kidding.
Hector, Edwin Diaz, that is to me the heart of the Mets. That is a guy that you need. That is a lockdown closer. He had a 1.63 ERA in 2025. He had a really good season. This is a guy you need on this team. Who's your better option? Like, there's not better options in the free agency. There is not. Edwin Diaz, if he opts out, you need to go get him. You have to sign him. If you don't, I mean, you're sending a message to Mets fans, and you're sending a message like, oh, we're not going to sign a reliever because of this philosophy. Bro, I don't want to hear the philosophy thing. You have to win games. Edwin Diaz is a guy you need. You see a Jeff Hoffman in the World Series like that. That Edwin Diaz is better. Edwin Diaz is better. I wish, like, he's a top-notch reliever. You need Edwin Diaz.
And that's the thing, bro. Like, if you look around at the options, whether it be free agency, maybe there's a trade out. Like, who are you gonna get that's better than Diaz? Right? Who are you gonna get? There's nobody numbers wise, right?
There's nobody. There's
then the other thing, the other element to it, Randy, is we know that Edwin Diaz can pitch in New York. That's not easy. It's not easy to come to New York and just play, period, to pitch, to be the closer that's going to come in and shut the game down. We saw we went out there, we got Ryan Helsley, and how did that work out? Do we want to bring him?
Horrible. He was
Do we want to
completely
sign
horrible.
him? Do we want to sign him to replace Edwin Diaz?
No, we don't. No, we don't. I don't think Met fans want to hear Ryan Helsley's name. They don't want to hear his name.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, Suarez, we want to try that. Who's 3 years older than Diaz? How much is he going to take? How is that a better investment?
Diaz is better. He's the best. He is one of the best relievers in the game. Like, you got Edwin Diaz. You got Aroldis Chapman. You got what's it called? Munez. Like, there's not a lot of closers that are that amazing. There's not. And Diaz, he's one of them. There's a reason why Brody Van Wagen made that trade, that Robinson Cano, whatever. Everybody was getting on him for making that trade with Jared Kelenic. But we got Edwin Diaz, one of the best closers in the game. And, yeah, he didn't have a good first year, but look what he did after that.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that Edwin Diaz is only, what should I say? I think the only thing that's stopping the Edwin Diaz negotiation from being a smooth negotiation, listen, in my opinion, Edwin Diaz, we should get an announcement in the next 5 days, in that 5-day window, that the Mets and Edwin Diaz have come to a contract agreement, whether it be an extension, however the hell they want to handle it, I don't care. That should be what we get within the next 5 days, if not within in that exclusivity window, very soon after that. Yo, Edwin Diaz doesn't want to opt out, bro.
Bro,
Edwin Diaz, in my opinion, is opting out because he has to, right? Because he's being advised to by his agents. Because maybe some of his family say, yeah, that's the right thing to do. Go out there and get yourself a couple more years, get some more money, secure more of the future that hasn't, if like I said, hasn't been secured already, right? The 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 Players Association is gonna want Edwin Diaz to opt out. That's why Edwin Diaz opts out.
yeah.
Edwin Diaz is not opting out because he's thirsty for more money or more years. It's the right thing to do. And who doesn't want more money and more years if you can get it? But the truth is that Edwin Diaz wants to be it. We saw last time how quick that negotiation was done.
Yeah.
Right? And he said it before he became like, I want to be here. I'm gonna talk to my family. I want to take care of this quick. I don't want to waste too much time. This is where I want to be. Boom, that was done. And I think it would be the same thing. The only thing that's hindering that, in my opinion, is David Stearns getting out of his comfort zone and maybe giving Edwin Diaz 4 years when he doesn't want to do that. Another 4 years.
I'm fine with paying. He's 31 years old. I'm fine with paying Diaz till he's 35. I don't. Diaz is the best. He's one of the best. I'm not saying he's Mariano Rivera, but he's like so important to this team. He is so important to the Mets. Like, you saw how important he was when he got injured, and you had David Robertson closing. You saw how important it was. Once he got injured, it was like, oh, the Mets are done. The Mets are done. And they didn't even make the playoffs that year. They didn't. Edwin Diaz is very, very important, and he deserves his money. But he really if David Stearns doesn't sign him back, if he doesn't sign him back, I'm losing all my trust in David Stearns. Because right now my trust is 65-35. I only have 35% for David Stearns right now. And that's because of all the bum-ass moves that he made, the Montas, the Siri, whatever, all these moves that I was never a fan of. And, it worries me. It worries me with him.
Yeah. No, but nobody's saying 6 years. I don't think he's gonna be out here looking for 6 years.
Yeah, who's saying 6 years?
I don't think he's gonna be out here looking for 6 years. But who you bringing in? Like I don't. Anyways, yeah, I'm not even gonna waste my time with that. 6 years. Nobody's talking about 6 years. But shout out to Jeffrey who brought up a couple of guys. I mean, Stanek. Like, give me a break. Give me a break with Stanek. But Drew Smith. That's another. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with guys like Drew Smith. You know what I'm saying? Do you non-tender him? Do you still bring him back? Is he gonna be a big part of this bullpen? Listen, Drew Smith, I wasn't a fan of before he got hurt. So what the hell are we gonna get out of Drew Smith now? But it's someone that's gonna factor probably into David Stearns' plans because he's kind of, I forget how his contract works, if it's an option or what the hell it is that he has going on for this season. But there's a lot of guys, there's a few guys like that,
Yeah, they like signed him to some deal. He's with the Mets. He's one of the Mets' long tenured New York Mets. So they love Drew Smith. For some reason, the Mets love Drew Smith. Obviously, they got him from the Lucas Duda trade. But Drew Smith, he's been okay. He hasn't been amazing. He hasn't been completely horrible. But I'm not trusting Drew Smith over Edwin Diaz.
No. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, as an internal option, if you were looking, if that would have to actually happen, Drew Smith would be one of those guys. Ryan Stanek, whom I believe is a free agent, nobody wants a part of. We mentioned Ryan Helsley before. Does anybody want to bring Ryan Helsley as a replacement back for Edwin Diaz? Do we want to bring Ryan Helsley back, period? Because we do need arms in this bullpen, right? Do you take a chance on a Ryan Helsley? I don't think so. I think of Tyler Rogers, you take a chance and you bring back and make him part of the setup, but you don't bring him back as your closer.
But the thing about Tyler Rogers is he's not the typical lockdown setup man. He pitches to contact a lot. He's a guy that he could pitch. He could be like a 7th inning guy. I just don't trust him to be the lockdown bridge.
No. I say that's part of your bullpen like setup. You know what I'm saying? Not as the setup guy, as that 8th inning guy that's gonna come in there lefty righty. And no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This bullpen needs a lot of work. This whole pitching staff needs a lot of work, to be honest with you.
I think Brooks Raley, though, Brooks Raley really showed something. I really like Brooks Raley, and I'm happy that he's, coming back.
He should, yeah. They have an option on him. I think it's for like $4 million. It's like something.
Yeah.
Like if they don't pick that up, like come on, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to my guy Devin who says Mets need another lefty. Absolutely. Mets Cowboy, who I think is my guy David from X. Listen, can we start that with Edwin Diaz? Guys start taking deferrals and we bring his brother in. I mean, I think the love affair with Edwin Diaz's brother, I get it. It's almost like the whole thing with Acuna and then, the last name, but like, come on. Alexis Diaz maybe a couple of years ago sounded like a good idea. Now we can't even say, the pitching lab. Early in the season, we were saying big go when he got traded or he got put on whatever the hell went, but it was looking like the Reds were gonna get rid of him. You're like, bring him in and throw him in the pitching lab. Because like the pitching lab is something you throw somebody in and they come back brand new, right? But throw him in the pitching lab. We can't even say that anymore. Yeah. Because the pitching lab is incomplete.
And you got a guy like
have a pitching coach yet.
You got a guy like Dylan Ross. Now that's a guy that I could see in the bullpen. He was doing pretty good in AAA. He has really good stuff. He does walk some people, but I think he has good stuff, and he could be an option to be a 7th inning guy or maybe an 8th inning guy.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Randy. I love when people bring up this AAA stuff. And excuse me, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. How much did you watch Dylan Ross?
I didn't really watch him that much. I only watched a couple of clips, but I mean, I saw some clips, and I also saw I read some reports, and I saw his ERA.
Right. And that goes for a lot of these guys, right? A lot of these prospects that everybody's high on the Mets, the Carson Benjes and the Jet Williams and the AJ Ewings and AJ Ewing play multiple positions and all. How much are we really watching these guys, man? We're just reading stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that any of these guys are not gonna come up and be good or not be. You never know, right? And I hope that all of them are able to come up and be contributors on a major league level and be superstars, some of them, and stars the others, or whatever the case may be. But this idea that we're gonna take Major League Baseball players, guys that have proven that can get it done in the majors, whether they've come up short or whatever the case may be, and we're gonna replace them with all these prospects. And all these prospects are going to come up and they're going to handle New York and they're going to get the job done. Like these other guys, it just baffles me how people talk like that. And again, I'm rooting for all of these guys, rooting for all of those young guys. But I don't watch. I can't give you a fair evaluation of what I think about these players. And again, that's in the minor league level. Yeah. It's a whole totally different ballgame when you come up to the majors.
Definitely. It definitely is. The Mets have a really good farm system. I just hope that they use this farm system to get better. That's what I really do. I hope that they use the farm system to make this team better because they have one of the best farm systems in the game. ESPN rated them one, like literally first. I mean, so you got Nolan McLean, you got Jet Williams, you got Jonah Tong, and you got Carson Bench. That's top 4 right now.
Right, but I'm pretty sure you don't want to trade Nolan McLean, right?
Nolan McLean, no. Right. No. You know why? Because he came up here and he showed something special. I've never seen a pitcher like him ever in my life. 28 years. Right. I've never seen a pitcher like him.
You gonna forget about DeGrom, bro?
I love DeGrom. I know
you're 28, but
I love DeGrom. I saw DeGrom. I'm talking about the spin rate and that type of stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that McLean is going to be better than
I
DeGrom
forgot
or
you're a young guy. You get impressed by all of this nonsense. That drives me crazy.
bro.
I
Do you
get it.
see the swing and misses? Like the
That's
swing
what
and
I
miss.
see. That's what I see. I don't give a fuck what the sprint rate is.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
see
saying.
what I see on the field. That's what I see. You
Yo,
know what I'm saying?
you know somebody's special when the announcers are talking about that pitcher like, oh wow, like
No,
McLean
no,
is special,
I
and
get
that's a
it.
guy to me. He's untouchable. He's
I
untouchable.
get it.
I don't want him going anywhere.
No, no, I get it. But that's why David Stearns has some tough decisions because no matter what, I cannot come into 2026 with Nolan McLean being my ace on paper. I love Nolan McLean, and eventually he will probably grow into that. But we cannot come into 2026 with him being the ace. We cannot come into 2026 with Kodai Senga penciled in as my ace, with
Oh no,
Sean Mania penciled in as my ace, with David Peterson penciled. Nobody on this current roster, on this team right now, is capable of being an ace if you're serious about winning a World Series. That is not how you come into the season.
no.
So you got to go out there and you got to go out there and get an ace, whether that be through a trade for a school if that is actually something that's attainable, whether it be post schemes if you want to jump into that super dream, whether you want to talk about Jose Sandy Alcantara, which I don't think is as much on the trade block as people think.
Mm-hmm. No, you got to get a top of the line. You
You know
got
what
to
I'm
get a
saying?
top of the
When you
line.
go out there in free agency and get a Framber Valdez, whom to me, in my opinion, and it's borderline, is the only guy in the free agency that I say, okay, you know what? I bring that guy and he's my number one. Don't talk to me about Ranger Suarez and none of these other dudes. Because to me, those are not clear number ones. Those are maybe nice number twos. And
Yeah.
we have enough of that.
No, we definitely do. They need, like you said, a top of the line starting pitcher. If Tarek Skubal is available, you gotta go for him. But then there's the point, and people are scared.
I don't give a damn,
to
Randy.
trade those
I don't
prospects.
give a damn that he's gonna, because there's no guarantee about the free agent or why you're gonna trade for him when you can get him in free agency. There's no guarantee.
There is no guarantee. There's no
There's
guarantee.
no guarantee. And like I said earlier today, if you go out there, you make that trade, and someone he saw how you find yourself in a World Series and you win, do you give a damn about the prospects?
No,
Say,
because
oh,
I'm in
I
the
don't
World
want.
Series.
I don't want to trade for Tyreek Skubal, and we end up giving up our PCA. I'll take Tyreek Skubal over PCA 100 any day of the week.
Yep. Ah,
You
man,
know?
you need pitching, Hector. If they don't get pitching, they aren't going anywhere. You see what the playoffs, you see these guys like a Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, you see a Tarek Skubal, these top of the line pitchers. You need a top of the line pitcher. If they don't get them, I don't know where this team is going, but I don't think they're gonna have success. Like you said, McLean can't be your ace. McLean could be maybe your number 3, but I don't think that he could be like that. He doesn't need to be that ace. He doesn't need to be that ace.
Yeah, it's not that he can't be the ace.
Of course. I mean, he has
push
the
himself into
potential
being the ace.
to be
You
that ace.
can't come into the season with him being penciled in as your ace, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree. They need starting pitching, but is Stearns willing to make those trades? Is he willing to make the biggest Stearns trade he's ever made was for Christian Yelich? So is he going to pony up and actually trade for a Tarek Skubal? Is he going to trade for a Freddie Peralta, a Joe Ryan? These guys. It's tough. I don't know.
I gotta be honest. I don't know if I'm excited about a Freddie Peralta. And thinking like, oh yeah, that's my ace. That's the upgrade that I need. Yeah.
I like Freddie Peralta, but I don't think that he is that number 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like not that we need. He's a good number 1 in Milwaukee. I don't think he's that number 1 that we're looking for right now. And easy, nobody here wants to trade Nolan McLean for anybody. Not Tyreek Skubal, not anybody.
Yeah. No.
If there's any untouchable, and excuse me, there's really no untouchables. But if we're gonna talk about an untouchable, it would be Enola McLean as far as prospects. Other than that, any of them guys can go reasonably, right? I don't want to include three of my top five in the trade for anybody, obviously. But I'll throw one of them in there with maybe another top 10, 15, and then, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to talk about trades. That's not what I do. Like,
Yeah.
not to break them down and tell you what I'm going to trade and not going to trade. I will tell you what my wish list is. You know what I'm saying? And guys that I would like to see if that's the case, or what kind of moves I would like to see. But I'm not the boy genius. I'm the boy idiot. I'm the boy rah rah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I am. I'm boy rah rah.
Yo.
You know, so I'm not gonna come in and then come to you with trades that I put in the trade machine or that I did on the PlayStation. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nolan McLean is an untouchable to me. You know who's not untouchable? It's four guys that we're done evaluating, Randy, in my
Oh,
opinion, and four guys that I think that David Stearns need to make a decision on right now. Enough of this splitting time. Enough of this. They're fighting for this in spring. Enough. Mark Vientos, Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, and Luis Angel Acuna. I don't think you can come back in 2026 with all those four guys on your roster. I think you need to make a decision. I've said this over and over and over. A good organization, a good general manager, a good president of baseball operations, whoever the hell it is that's in charge of running the team, because every team does it different, right? They know when to move on from guys and when to keep guys. They know which guys to sell and which guys to keep. David Stern should already know which one or two of those four guys he feels can be a part of him building a winning team and which guys he needs to move on from and sell at whatever price he can get. You got the guys that you keep mentioning, all these prospects that are going to be pushing these guys pretty soon, some starting as soon as 2026, right? Because we may see a Carson Bench come up. You
yeah.
keep hearing that he may be a player in 26, if not to start the season soon after. The same thing for maybe a Jet Williams. And who the hell knows who else emerges throughout the season? You can't have these guys on here holding on to spots and not producing. You got Mark Vientos, who's out of options. You got Brett Beatty, who has one option. I think Mauricio has an option left. I'm
Hmm.
not sure about Acuna. But it's time, bro. It's time to use even those guys to go out there and get you better pieces. What do
Yeah.
you feel
No.
about that? And
No.
I know you're a big Ronnie guy. I know you're a
No.
big
Yeah.
Ronnie guy. And if anybody, I think the evaluation of Ronnie is the only one that's tough, right? And it's incomplete because of the injury. And in my opinion, Ronnie should have never came up here last season. And it's definitely not at the time that he did. I always felt like if Ronnie was going to come up last season, it was going to be later on in the year,
Yeah.
August, September, maybe. He was rushed up because of injuries and then should have been sent down and should have never been kept on the bench to learn on the major league bench. Give me a break.
I mean, to learn on a major league bench, but like, this is a guy, like you said, that came up but looked outmatched. His plate discipline was horrible. He really, really struggled. But then he did get a little bit better with the plate discipline. He was hitting some hits, but overall, he didn't get a lot of consistent playing time because of this juggling of Beatty, Vientos, Mauricio, all these guys. I didn't like what I saw with the consistent lineups, the inconsistent lineups. I wanted to see a more consistent lineup, but obviously you got Beatty, you got Mauricio, you got Vientos. All these guys were juggled, but Mauricio to me is, like you said, a guy that I think has a lot of talent, but his performance and the evaluation, I think you can put him at AAA and you can give him more time. I think you have that option right now. He's probably going to start the year at AAA. This is what I would do. I would start him at AAA and just give him time because he has some flaws. That plate discipline is a flaw. He doesn't hit good against lefties. He's not the best defensive second baseman. He has really good defensive metrics at third, but overall, second base, not that good. But his power is something that can be special. It can be special. I think he needs to hit the ball more the opposite way to make him more of a complete hitter. But he needs to make more contact. He really needs to make more contact. But that's a guy you look at and you're like, this guy could be very, very exciting. He could be a very exciting talent. In 2023, he came up, hit that ball right over Teoscar Hernandez's head. That was lovely to see. But then 2024, missed the whole year. 2025,
But
obviously.
Even when he came up then, Randy, and that was the hardest hit ball that the Mets had all year.
I know.
Remember that? But even then, right, and he finished that year, and it was okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to my guy Devin. Shout out to Dolo and Meezy. We've already spoken to Sanders. My guy Ant from the I Hate That podcast. I saw Ant Subway to Shake him in early on and said what's up, man. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate the numbers keep going up. We keep creeping up little by little. We're like almost like 520 or so. So thank you guys, man. We appreciate you, man. And again, my guy Randy don't need no help, man. Randy's over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and all that good stuff. Randy's the man.
Yeah.
But you can find Randy's stuff, but Randy's easy, man. And Randy Talks Mets on TikTok, on I don't know where else you are besides TikTok,
X, Twitter, YouTube,
and YouTube,
yeah.
But even then, they were saying, listen, Ronnie's play discipline this, play discipline that. Ronnie needs more work, he needs more sharpening. Then Ronnie goes and gets hurt and misses an entire season. And that was my battle with Mets fans all year when I kept saying, we shouldn't see Ronnie. Ronnie's not ready to play. Oh, Ronnie, we need Ronnie up here. We need Ronnie. What are you talking about?
And Hector, I was one of those people. I was telling you. I was like, yo,
Hector. Why you hating? I'm like, guys, I love Ronnie.
Yeah.
I'm a Ronnie guy, but we got to be realistic. The dude already needed to fine-tune some things and missed an entire year of baseball, man. He needs to just play baseball.
Yeah.
Leave him in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And again, we already saw what happened. Listen, if it's up to me, Randy, I'm with you. I'm keeping Ronnie. I'm trying to keep Ronnie around. I think Ronnie could be an electric bat. It's been delayed a little bit because of the injury, but I don't have all the information. They have all the information, right?
Yeah.
They know whether the leg is tapodria, and how we say in Spanish, you know what I'm saying? And maybe they should trade his ass before it shows out. They know that. I don't know that. They should be able to know, like, you know what? No, we could keep Ronnie around. He's healthy. He needs more time. He's someone that can be part of something. But I would keep Ronnie around if that's the case. Yeah. If it was up to me now, it's not gonna stop me from making a trade, though. It's not gonna stop me from making a trade that I want to make. If there's a guy that I want and Ronnie needs to go in that trade, see ya.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but if I had to move Ronnie or Acuna, I'm moving Acuna right now. Yeah. And again, I need to clear this logjam. I can't have all of these guys.
No, you can't. You can't because you're gonna.
When it comes to Vientos and Brett Beatty, and I know you might not agree. I don't know if you will agree or not, because I know you're gonna give me the metrics at third base and all of this stuff about Vientos' defense. But if I had to choose between Vientos and a Beatty, I'm going with a Mark Vientos. I don't give a damn what Brett Beatty did this year.
Okay.
I'm going with a Mark Vientos. Do we know that Brett Beatty's going to be able to carry that over now? He finally had his breakout. Exactly. And now I'm so sure that Brett Beatty's going to come back and be that guy. And I'm not going to say sophomore slump, but now when the league adjusts to whatever adjustments that he made, is he going to be able to adjust? Or is he going to be worse than what Vientos was? Because at least Vientos hit 20 plus home runs.
Yeah, no,
and Vientos went down to 17.
Vientos hit 27 home runs. He had 86 RBIs. This is a guy that had one of the best OPSs in the postseason in 2024. But obviously, that was a really full year in 2024. This year was supposed to be a really good year. Apparently, he put a lot of pressure on himself. He said he wanted to be a Silver Slugger right away. He wanted to win the Silver Slugger award. I thought that was like maybe he got his confidence level a little too up. Maybe he got a little happy or whatever, a little confident. But maybe he had a chip on his shoulder, but it didn't work out. He didn't have a good.
Well, he had a chip on his
sophomore.
shoulder in 24. I think he lost a little bit of that chip on his shoulder in
Yeah,
25.
maybe he lost it. Maybe he lost because
I think he
this
lost. I think he got a
sophomore
little too
year,
comfortable.
this sophomore year, what were they feeding him? They were feeding him sliders, breaking pitches. And that is something that Vientos needs to work on. He needs to work on. But I'm not losing my trust in Vientos overall as a hitter. Now, as a defender, I don't trust him at third like I do a Ronnie Mauricio, like I do a Brett Beatty. That's just the truth. But I think when it comes to his bat, he has a lot of potential. He has the potential to hit 30 home runs, 25 home runs every single year. But the average needs to get better. And the plate discipline needs to get better. He has to get better. But Acuna, that's a guy that has a lot of speed. And I feel like Acuna didn't get a fair shot. Acuna didn't get a real playing time first shot. He won. It was March and April. He was a National League Rookie of the Month. So this is a guy that was playing good that month. But obviously, McNeil came back. Acuna then struggled because he wasn't playing as much. So I just feel like all these guys need consistency. But it's like you said, there's a logjam. What are we going to do? What are we going to do with Beatty? What are we going to do with Mauricio? What are we going to do with Vientos? There's a lot of guys that you need to plug in, but they just got to pick one and just be like, all right, here, take the reins. You also have a prospect Jacob Reimer, who's a third baseman, who's another guy that could be in a logjam like this in a few years. So it's going to be tough. The Mets haven't had that. They haven't found that third baseman that they've been looking for years. Brett Beatty overall had a good year. I don't think Brett Beatty had the most amazing year. I think he finally was hitting the ball in the air and he was doing his thing. But and the defense, he showed really good versatility at second base, at third base. But overall, can you trust Beatty to be your third baseman for the present and the future? I don't know. That's the thing. It's so many guys, but man, I don't know. It is really, really tough what they do, because if they trade Beatty, then that's crazy. If they trade Beatty, Mauricio probably gets the third base position and they run with him. I don't know. But this is going to be a tough offseason for these guys. But I think, like you said, they have to make the decisions and just be like, we saw the evaluation, we evaluated, let's go.
No, yeah. Listen, and San agrees with you, and I agree. Just like I said, Mauricio's a little bit incomplete because of the injury and all that. Acuna just wasn't handled properly. He's another guy that needed playing time. And he was here sitting on the bench. They sent him down and then brought him back up. But I just listen, I'm sorry. I think you have to make a decision. And if it was up to me, the guys that I would try to move would be Acuna and Beatty. And I think, and shout out to my guy Eddie. And appreciate you, Eddie. Thanks for reposting the stream, man. I think if Vientos doesn't hit, he's a 0. If Vientos came back in 2025 and produced like he did in 2024, nobody would have made a big deal about his defense. I also think some of his defensive struggles is because he took his offensive struggles out there on the field with him. Now, I'm not saying he's a good defender. I think he struggles. His reaction time is a little slow. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think, you know what? He's a butcher, whatever. I just think that if he was hitting better, we wouldn't make that big a deal. Now, we talked about the World Series. Now, let me say this. We talked about the World Series, and this even applies to Pete. I love Pete Alonso. And I don't want to, I'm trying to avoid talking too much about Pete Alonso, because how much are we going to talk about Pete Alonso? I know it's going to be a conversation that's going to go on and on and on and on. Because the same way I feel that Edwin Diaz should be a quick resolution, I know that Pete is not going to be a quick resolution, unfortunately. When you want to say it's because of Boris, I say it's because of both Boris and Stearns, but it's not going to be a quick resolution, and it pisses me off. And I know we almost got to get out of here. because my guy Randy actually got to work, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I got time, bro.
If you don't know, my guy Randy's actually at SNY right now because my guy Randy works at SNY doing his thing behind the scenes and stuff, making those guys look
yeah.
good. You think it's
If
those
you want
guys
to
on
keep
the air
going, bro,
now?
I'm good till like 9:30 or 9.
I heard you, Randy. Relax, bro. I'm trying to plug you, bro. Take it easy, man. But I don't want to get into the peak because the peak conversation is gonna be a long, exhausting conversation. But you know, you watch the World Series, man, and as much as I want Pete back, and I don't think Pete is the butcher that people say that he is at first base. He's struggling with the throws right now, and I think it's more a mental thing than anything, right? You can't help but watch the World Series, man, and watch some of those plays being made and say, "Golly, we don't make those plays."
No, we don't. No, we don't.
We
No,
don't make those plays. Like I love Pete. Pete
no,
doesn't make
because
that double play, a couple of double plays, but especially because of the throws, right? Now there's a couple of pickups at first base that we saw throughout the playoffs and in the World Series that Pete makes those.
yeah,
Pete makes those throws, those scoops on the throws and all that other guys don't make. But that throw to second and get back to first base on a double play that Vladdy did, I don't know if Pete does that. That fucking stop and throw over to Sir Anthony Dominguez. I don't know if Pete does that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get it. But we're not gonna get into Pete, man. We're not getting into Pete right now. But let me see, like, bro. I was trying to look for it, and I don't know where to find specifically chase rate, right? But
mm,
real quick, I go on Fangraphs and I look at Mark Vientos, and the stat swings at pitches outside the zone, right? Percentage of pitches a batter swings at outside the strike zone. In 2024, Mark Vientos was 31.1%. You want to guess what it was in 2025?
this is the chase rate, right?
I don't I don't know what to specifically find chase rate. This is percent because it's almost the same thing.
Percentage,
Percentage of pitches a batter swings at outside the strike zone. 31.1% in 2024.
40%.
In 2025, you think it was 40%? Let me tell you that it was 31.1%.
Oh, it
The
was
same exact number,
it
bro.
was the same. Okay.
Right? I look at things like when it comes to Mark Vientos. Let me see real quick. Because I did a video on this. Because I was looking at this and I was like, you know what? I'm not wrong about Vientos. For whatever reason, and this sounds ridiculous, and I hate this. The dude really had bad luck, bro. When you look at the underlying numbers, which I hate this stuff because we watched the games, right?
Yeah.
This is what the people like. But when you look at his numbers, bro, and I look at line drive percentage in 2024, 19.8. In 2025, 22%. That's actually better. That's good.
Yeah.
You want to hit more line drives than anything, right?
Yep.
Ground ball percentage in 2024, 44.2%. In 2025, 41.5. So ground balls went down. That's a good thing. Fly ball percentage 2024, 36%. 2025, 36.4. So the numbers are like, they're right there. Now, here's where the big difference is.
Mm. Mm.
Home run to fly ball ratio. In 2024, that was at 26.5. In 2025, that went down to 14.9.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
How the hell does that happen? That's like unexplainable, bro.
That's a drop. That's a big drop right there, man.
Yep.
That's a big drop. I
And
still
then you
no
look
go ahead.
at real quick, like pull 41% to 39. That went down a little bit. Hitting up the middle, 38.2 to 39. That went up a little bit. Opposite field, 20.1 went up to 22%. Maybe too much Apple. I don't know. I like the fact that he hits Apple. I like the fact that he's Apple. So I'm just gonna ignore him easy. I'm just gonna ignore him easy. I'm just gonna ignore him. Anyways, you were gonna say something. Go ahead. Now his hard hit percentage 46.5. I mean 46.6 in 24. In
Uh-huh.
25, 50.5.
Oh, his hard hit percentage went up.
4
Wow.
percentage points.
Look, I
It's
think
unexplainable, bro. It's unexplainable. I'm telling you.
I think what I think is they were feeding him more breaking balls and yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Watching the games, actually watching the games, I saw a lot of chase. I didn't see him using that A swing, the typical A swing that he wants to call it, and that's hitting the ball the other way to right field straight away for a home run. That's his typical A swing that Mark Vientos said that he wants to stick to. But then I see him trying to pull a ball so many times. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Randy, 2024, 31.9% sliders. 2025, 29.5.
What? No way. No way. What? Wait,
You know
wait,
what
wait.
Mark Viento's biggest problem was, bro? He did not handle the fastball like he did in 24 in 24. That was his biggest problem.
I'm very surprised by the sliders. I'm very
Vientos
surprised.
doesn't have a FIP. Get your stats right and get up to 2025, bro. You're still in the 70s.
I'm very surprised what you just said. I thought they were
He
throwing
saw
him a
more
lot
fastballs.
more
Look,
sliders.
fastballs. 21.4% in 24, 25, 24.1 in 25. Now, again, because I've looked at all of this. I've looked at all of this, and
Yeah.
not just for Vientos because I want to defend them easy, but that's the conversation that we're having right now. And yes, because people like you like to shit on my guy Vientos, I am gonna defend him. But I'm gonna try to look for the number where his number on fastballs, and that's what really like destroyed him. If I can find it, but um, let me see. Bro, even his K percentage went down from
How,
29.7 in 24 to 24.8 in 25.
it's hard to believe that because actually watching the games it didn't look like that.
Right. I hear
Also,
you,
he
bro.
played more games though. Didn't he play more games in 2025 more
Yeah,
than
he did.
2024?
Yeah. Yeah. So more opportunities to strike out though.
More opportunities. Bro, I still think I think he can be that 30 home run hitter. I think he can. But the average, bro, the average was telling. The average was 20. But what I want to talk
I
about,
have that for you for next weekend. And I have that for you. His case on Tuesdays. I got you,
Hector,
brother.
that bad year for Vientos, right? That bad year that he had for Vientos, very similar to Brett Beatty's good year.
Exactly.
Very similar to his overall best
That's
year.
that's that's Beatty's breakout year.
You
You
know what I'm
kidding me?
saying?
Are you kidding me? But we're gonna keep Ray Beatty in the name of run prevention. You want to help me? You want to improve run prevention? See, there's a thing. People run prevention and right away think about defense. Oh my gosh, that means we got to get rid of Pete. We got to get rid of Nemo. We got to get rid of Vientos. Soto got to move to first base or DH. Tyrone Taylor got to be sent to Mars. How about we get some better pitching? How about we stop walking the damn ballpark? How's that for run prevention? Another thing is, and I said this in the space earlier, not in outer space. I know you guys think I'm in outer space, but in the Twitter space. I said earlier, what the fuck did I say? Nah, I forgot. For trying to be funny, I forgot. Lost my train of thought for trying to be a clown. But listen, we spend too much time on Mark Vientos anyways. But I would keep a Mark Vientos. I'm a big Mark Vientos guy. Vientos and Alvarez sucked last year. Vientos is horrible on defense. Everybody sucked last year. The whole entire team sucked last year. I don't give a damn what you say. You want to talk to me about Soto's great individual year, his great fantasy year that was not impactful when it came to winning? You could have that. Even Pete's great year, and Pete's year actually was impactful when it came to winning. But none of it means anything to me. They all sucked. At the end of the day, we didn't make the playoffs.
You didn't make the playoffs
So
after going to the NLCS.
the 2025 Mets make me sick. And are you really gonna say after you're trying to make fun of me for bringing up Viento stats, you're gonna say go check Alvarez stats? He didn't really suck. Are you serious? Are you serious? He stunk until he came back from the second IL stint.
Alvarez was a tough one because he tried to change his like mechanics. He tried to be more of a contact hitter, and it didn't work out. So he went back to what he was doing before, and he started hitting more fly balls. And finally, but overall, the guy can never stay healthy. Alvarez can never stay healthy. He's a young kid. I'm not giving up on him.
I don't know if he tried to become more of a contact hitter and it didn't work. And when he came back, he switched it because when he came back, he was still doing it. What he tried to change was that stupid stance that he had to start the season that looked horrendous.
But he wasn't hitting the ball in the air with that stance that you're talking about.
We don't know what the hell he was doing because he got hurt, though. He came in with a, new stance. He's something he was working on in spring training and then ended up getting hurt. So it's hard to really evaluate that. I didn't like it, though. I didn't like it either. I didn't like how it was looking or anything. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like he was getting lucky. He was getting lucky a couple of times, hitting the ball the other way. People were saying, "Oh, that's the new approach," and I was like, "Nah, he got lucky on that." He's just good enough that he got beat and he was able to still put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was like that's part of what he's trying to do, but that wasn't it. Now, when he came back, he was a lot better. He kind of went back a little bit to his old self and stuff, whatever. But I still think that Alvi is so. Listen, I hope that all of these guys come back as better contact hitters. Randy, honestly, listen, we just saw the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah.
What is one of the things that the Blue Jays get credit for? Putting the ball in play, being tough out,
but doing the little things right, doing the little things, big and
doing the little. But when we're talking about hitting, though, is not striking out. It's putting the ball in play. Who doesn't want that? I want that. Now I'm put me back in the 80s and 90s. I miss the 300 hitters. I miss the guy that's going to hit me 35, 40 home runs and still hit 280.
Yeah, man. I miss the different type of hitter that Brandon Nimmo was before. That's what I miss. The guy that could get on base, but hit good for average, not strike out so many times. That's what I miss from Brandon Nimmo.
And we go back real quick, and Cowboy Man says he had to watch the Stearns presser again yesterday. I'm sorry that you put yourself through that once again.
Oh my God!
But don't worry about it. I've watched it like 3 times myself. But he wants listen. That's good though, Randy. That's good. I'm having fun. But that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's what I tell people all the time. Don't listen to my stupid ass tell you what David Stearns said. Go listen yourself.
Yeah, go. Yeah,
and form your own opinion. Listen to me anyways. But don't form your opinion based on what I said. Let me fix that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing to go back. And he says when the reporters asked him about Pete and first base, DH, and all that good stuff, he didn't even say maybe. Now I'm gonna have to go back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back. Oh my God!
But we know that Pete is not a Stearns guy. We know that. Yeah, MEC, you're right. You're right. Alvarez getting hurt is part of his problem, plus his inconsistency at the plate. His defense isn't top notch either. I agree.
No, yeah, he's not. He's not one of the best defenders, but
this is a guy that works hard as hell, man. This is a guy that tries. This is a guy that makes it his business to study his pitches, to know his pitches, right? Now, he's been hurt. That goes into it, right? He's been inconsistent. I think about, not like this guy was an all-star or anything like that, but I think about Travis d'Arnaud, who went through the same thing as a Met. kept getting hurt. Every time you felt like, oh my God, he goes, finally, Travis Darno, boom, gets hurt again. And then he gets traded or goes to the Rays, and turns out to be a pretty decent major leaguer. Put some very nice years together that some Mets fans were saying, oh my gosh, look, of course, once he leaves the Mets. And what did he say? When he got to the Braves, they let him be just a hitter. Put the ball all over the ballpark instead of trying to make him a pull hitter and trying to make him a home run hitter. So do we want to give up on a Francisco Alvarez, who's obviously much more talented than Travis Darno ever was? I don't know. Or do we give him a little bit more
Who's the better option? Who's the better option than Alvarez? That's the thing. Who's the better option out there? Like, I don't know.
I agree. It means he should be as good as Kirk. I was thinking the same thing. I'm not going to prove you wrong on that. I want him to be that good.
I would love for him to be like Kirk, but he's not. Alvarez is not a contact guy.
But he can be.
But he can be. But he tried that. He tried that this year. Yeah, he tried to be. He tried to be.
He was better, Randy. He was better. You're saying he wasn't, but he was. You're acting like he didn't switch that up when he came back. He was still trying to put the ball in play more. He was still going opposite field. He just switched the stance when he came back. That's what he switched from the beginning of the year. And we can't really evaluate the beginning of the year because he got hurt, even though I didn't like how he looked. I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't like it either.
But as he really tried to be a guy that's going to put the ball in play contact, and listen, and I'm not saying you don't want him exhibiting his power. He can still do that. This is why I'm very interested to see. And I know a lot of people say the coaching doesn't matter. Yo, Frank, what's going on, man? Whose fault is that? How my guy the schmoozer would say. Whose fault is that? Listen, I think I said this before. In my opinion, David Stearns chose the players over the coaches. He wiped away the entire coaching staff, bro. Besides Carlos Mendoza. And one of the guys he wanted to keep doesn't want to come back. And Antoine Richardson. So that tells me that, yes, David Stearns is going to go out there and make moves and bring in better players, but he also believes that the players here could do better with better coaching. That's what he's telling me.
I mean, he can't fire the players.
So everybody gets all excited about all these guys that we don't even know who the hell they are. But again, you go read a little resume and, oh my gosh, how can anybody be upset at the hire of Jeff Albert? Did you know who Jeff Albert was the day before yesterday? The day before he was hired? Probably not. But God forbid anybody says, oh my gosh, who's this? Oh, Troy Slicker. Justin Willard. That's a great move by the Mets. Who the fuck is Justin Willard? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who the heck is that? But okay. We could all go read up and see where they've come from and what they've done and what kind of impact they've had. So if you're going to get excited about that, then maybe the director of hitting or whatever the hell his name, his title is, in Jeff Albert, and Troy Snicker coming from the Astros, who, by the way, got his ass fired, right? But great hire by the Mets.
Yeah.
Again, and listen, I'm having fun. Because
that's hilarious.
I'm having fun. But maybe they could have the same impact that Mary Poppins had out there in Toronto. And again, I'm having fun. David Popkins, not Mary Poppins. I know what the fuck his name is. But maybe those coaches can come in here and have that kind of impact. The same impact that Antoine Richardson had on turning Juan Soto into Kenny Lofton when I fucking wanted Barry Bonds, not Barry Bonds, but you know,
Yeah, I know what you
I
mean.
want a game changer, and I got Kenny Lofton. Give me a damn break. Let me stop.
Oh my
Let
god.
me stop. You know what I'm saying? But David Stearns chose coaches over players. I mean, chose the coaches over the players. I mean, chose the players over the coaches.
Well, David
Let's
Stearns.
see if these guys could come over here and have an impact. Maybe if we change the philosophy from what Jeremy Barnes told us, where he wanted to sacrifice average for slug, where we may let go of a pitch that we could put in play because we don't want to just put a ball in play. We want to hit home runs. Maybe if we change that stupid philosophy, we could have better hitters. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
And like always, blunt thoughts is all over the place. So we've been all over. But I think we kind of hit on everything that you need to hit. It's decision time for David Stearns, man. Evaluation time is over. And it's going to be interesting, man. How are we going to build this bullpen? Again, do you bring any of these guys back? Is Drew Smith a player? Do we want to bring back Gregory Soto as that second lefty? Or we say hell no? I don't know what's the other guy's name that got hurt? Danny Young? That was the lefty that we
Danny
had?
Young, yeah, Danny Young.
Who I liked. A lot of Met fans didn't like him. I liked him. And then he pitched well earlier this year. And of course, he ends up getting hurt. Because, of course, that's how it is with the Mets. Is he a player this year? I don't know. I can't remember what his injury was. I don't know what his timetable is.
I mean, I think they're going to have AJ Minter and they're going to have Brooks Raley.
We got AJ Minter coming back.
AJ Minter looked really, really good. And then he got injured.
Yeah.
I felt like once he got injured, it was like a really big blow to that bullpen.
Yeah. Another thing is, but I don't want to see any. We got to cut this optional reliever nonsense, bro. Oh, we got optional relievers. We want to have optional relievers.
Oh, yeah.
Go get some good relievers. And that's why you see this musical chairs with guys coming up and down. And we set the record for moves, for roster moves this year. Because of this optional reliever crap. And DFAing guys. And all of this nonsense. And at first it was cute, right? And at first people were trying to give Stearns credit. And I'm like, yo, it's not that he has a short leash or anything like that. Oh, if you're not getting the job done, David Stearns gets rid of you. Nonsense. The problem is we need a fresh arm because we got a bunch of starters going 4 innings. We got no middle reliever because baseball doesn't believe in middle relievers anymore. So now we need a fresh arm, and this guy doesn't have options. So you got no choice but to DFA him. And then sign him back in 3 days. How many times did we release and DFA and bring back Richard Lovelady?
And we brought him back.
And he's back again.
He's back again.
This time on a major league deal, though, I think. So
on a
I don't know how that works, but whatever.
Major league deal.
But can we cut that nonsense out, please? And go get me some real relievers, man, and build a real damn bullpen. Can we go out there and get me a damn ace, please?
They got to do it. If they don't do it, they got to do it. They got to do it. Hands down, Steve Cohen, I hope he puts the pressure on David Stearns to actually make these moves. Because you can't do this small market GM crap. You cannot. You got to pony up. You got to make these moves. And you got to use these prospects to get one of these guys. And you got to use your money.
And some of these major league guys, too, just to change things up. Maybe it is time to move a Jeff McNeil. And I'm a Jeff McNeil guy. But I know about it. Maybe it's time to go trade Jeff McNeil and forget about, what are you going to get for him? What's the value? You get what you get, man. Let Boy Genius figure it out. Don't ask Boy Idiot.
I'm completely done with Jeff McNeil. Completely done. I feel like he's overall that the hitter he has become. I just don't feel like he's a winning player when it comes to the way he's hitting.
Again, Randy, these guys have become the type of hitters that the Mets wanted them to become.
I don't agree.
They try to make McNeil okay, but it's them. They only do what they're asked to do. Now, You want to tell me they weren't good at that? Okay. But what if these other guys now, Snicker and Jeff Albert? See, that's to my opinion, that's very important too. You hired these guys. Pretty sure that you sit down with these guys in the interviews. What do you think about our guys? How can you make a Jeff McNeil better? How can you make a Mark Vientos better? How can you make this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe these guys themselves volunteer some, like, yo, listen, I don't know what you guys are trying to do here. I'm not going to tell you what you guys are trying to do here, even after they're hired. But this is a guy that I think we should keep around, that we could turn into a better hitter. Or well, this, you know what I'm saying, that we can make some adjustments to. And if he does this, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people say, oh, heck, the hitting coaches, really? They made the moves, right? And again, everybody loves Mary Poppins. So I think that's also an interesting point to me, to see how, I mean, we'll never know how those guys feel, but I wonder what kind of feedback or what kind of information they're getting from those guys. Because that's one thing you do when you fire these other guys and you're gonna bring guys in and you're interviewing guys. You ask them for their opinion from the outside looking in to your organization, and what do you think guys think, and that's how you hire someone. That's how you. Yeah. That's one of the ways that you decide who you're gonna hire is what they tell you, what kind of stuff they tell you in the interview process, and then as you hire them, all right, now what we're gonna do? What do you guys think? Do you guys think if we keep this guy around, there's someone that, or maybe you don't ask? I don't know.
There's two guys that I just don't want on this team anymore, and that's McNeil and that's Senga.
I get it.
I'm just done. I'm done with them. Like McNeil was only getting older. He didn't have that good of a season. Look, and I think the Mets need to get more athletic and younger.
I agree with that.
But they gotta do it. This team needs change. It needs change. Now, what will that change be? I don't know. But this team needs real change. And it starts with a top-of-the-line pitcher.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trying to look through these comments real quick. See what we got going on here. See if there's anything we missed. Kweisi got lazy with the start comments. That's pretty much we've seen all of these. I don't know, though. I don't know if Mauricio needs to ditch batting right-handed just yet.
He hasn't been good at it. But I think obviously, what did he go? 3 for 30 or some shit like that? Something like that. Like he didn't have a good overall record when it comes to his the batting against lefties.
I mean, I don't think he had a good batting period, but
yeah, he did it.
Obviously, left-handed is a little bit better.
Some guys like Cedric Mullins did that. He wasn't a good right-handed batter, and then he went to left-handed. He was better. Maybe Mauricio does need to do that. I don't know. Mauricio's a young player still, and he's probably not gonna want to do that. So I don't know. Oh no! If Stearns messes up this offseason, Cohen is definitely firing him, hands down. I don't see a world where the Mets don't make the playoffs again, and I hate to say that, but and Stearns doesn't go. I just don't see a world of that. Not now with Steve Cohen. He's a businessman, man.
Acuna a shot at being the everyday second baseman. That's just like
Randy, please answer my question. What was the question?
Where the hell you seen that at?
He just commented. I don't know. What was the question?
What trade? How about we trade?
How about we trade Miguel, Peterson, McNeil for an ace plus cash? Well, if you get, I mean,
If you could get an ace for
plus
McGill, Peterson,
cash.
McNeil, and Cash, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
I don't think that's gonna get you an ace. But again, I'm not someone here who cooks up trades and can tell you value and all of this stuff and tell you yeah that. But I don't think that's gonna get it done.
Frank wants to trade our leftovers for an ace. Yo, oh man. I mean, yeah, it depends on the cash and what you're paying. But I don't, I don't know. Mauricio needs to starting role. Sample size before we decide. He's not switching.
I agree, but are you ready to give him a starting role right now, though, Flip? I don't think we could give him a starting role right now. I think Mauricio needs to start the year in the minors again, man. Mauricio, unfortunately, I think they set him back last season.
I
I
think they
really
did a
do.
complete disservice to him. A
Yeah,
complete
I
disservice to
really
him.
think they do. I really think they did.
Yep.
I really
I
think
mean,
they did.
once Cedric Mullins came to this team, Acuna went to AAA and Mauricio went to the back burner. Completely to the back burner. Didn't get a lot of opportunity. He was apparently supposed to be a pitch hitter. They really didn't use him much as a pitch hitter. They didn't. Like, even if you wanted him in that pitch hitter role, use him in that pitch hitter role. They didn't use him. And that's the thing, bro. But I still believe in Ronnie Mauricio. I still do. And I know you do too, Hector, but
No, I do too.
he
I
needs
just don't
development,
think
bro.
I don't think we could count on him as starting the year on a major league team.
But
You
if
know what
you
I'm
trade
saying?
Beatty, let's say they trade Beatty, then who else is going to be your third baseman?
Mark Vientos.
See, that's what you think. That's what you think.
I,
That's what you think. But obviously, that defense,
yeah,
I
and
don't know.
again, you guys are hung up on his run prevention, and that means defense only. When run prevention can be done in a lot of ways. Run prevention can be what's the other guy's name? Kai Correa. Isn't he a defensive guy?
Yeah.
Got all the kudos for being a defensive guy and all of this stuff. Maybe Kai Correa can help with run prevention. With how we, you know, better positioning and so on and so forth. I don't know. Maybe one of the whoever the new infield instructor is has a switch for setup for Mark Vientos, has a better setup, he has a better reaction. I don't fucking know. But I'm telling you right now, I don't
I
want to
mean,
start the year with Brett Beatty as my third baseman.
I would like to start the year with Brett Beatty as a third baseman, but I don't know.
Not
It,
me. I need to upgrade. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Listen, Brett Beatty had a good year. I'm not convinced, bro.
I
If
get
I
it.
go into those numbers that I looked at for Vientos with Brett Beatty, bro, Vientos kicking his ass still, even in his bad year, bro.
It is tough,
Except for
bro.
run prevention. Let's look at a couple more questions here before we get out of here. Let's see what we got here. What is this?
McGill is a sugar honey iced tea.
If now this isn't time, the Mets will be screwed because all Eric Chavez got out of the young players was bad, corrupt data. I put more on Jeremy Barnes. Jeremy Barnes was the data guy and the guy that tried to turn them all into power hitters. But I digress. Eric Chavez, Jeremy Barnes doesn't matter. But I understand your point. Um, but I listen, Boy Genius needs to figure it out, man.
Oh, hands down, he does.
Boy Genius needs to figure it out. Was it because of Eric Chavez and Jeremy Barnes? And again, figure out which one of these guys you can make better with the new guys that you brought in here to the coaching staff.
But I don't feel like Juan Soto not hitting with runners in scoring position in the beginning was all because of Eric Chavez. Like that's Juan Soto. That's Juan Soto. These guys were runners in scoring position. These guys are baseball players. There's no way a hitting coach is just going to change everything that you know. I think baseball is pretty simple. See the ball, hit the ball. But
Some people tell you that that's ridiculous. You can't do that anymore.
see the ball, hit the ball.
Right. Quays, stop pissing me off. Um, Game for War says, and I bring this up because I want to ask you, where are you on Starling Marte? As he has a funny way of bringing it up. And
Marte.
if Soto decides to stand up for his Dominican buddy and orders the Mets to resign him, he's talking about Marte. Then we'll be screwed. So if we bring back Starling Marte, we'll be screwed. You agree with that? Do you think we should bring back Starling Marte?
So if you bring back Starling Marte, he can't take a role from younger players. Like, he needs to be just a bench bat. That's the only way I'm bringing back Starling Marte. I think he's a nice clubhouse guy. I think he's a good bat off the bench. But I don't think he needs to be your everyday DH, platoon DH, bull crap. They need a freaking DH that they can just plug in every day and him be your DH. That's it. Starling Marte cannot be your everyday DH in 2026. He cannot. He was taking at bats from Mark Vientos. He could taking at bats from people. So I think when it comes to Marte, I will love him back, but in a bench role only. Only.
I did see that. I saw that Marte. He take the first base coach job. If he wants to do it, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. But man, listen. I'm not bringing Marte back as a DH, like a guy off the bench.
That's like, what I'm saying.
I'm only bringing Marte back as my 26th guy, and that depends on what other moves are made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have to have a good backup outfielder. Which could possibly be Tyrone Taylor, maybe not, because he's another guy that I think he's a guy that's a non-tender candidate, but I could see them bringing him back. I think so. I think he's like somebody. I don't think he's a for sure guy coming back. And I don't think we'll non-tender him anyways. But he's on that list of guys that we could just see ya. But no, I'm not bringing Marte back as one of those options. But I don't know if just being that clubhouse guy and Soto's buddy is a reason to bring him back. Exactly. Marte could be the clubhouse manager, not on my 26, says Master Flip. So there's that.
I think it says he's not a free agent until 2027, Tyrone Taylor.
Right. Not a free agent, but he's an arbitration guy. So if he's someone that they feel like, you know what, where he slotted to get an arbitration, we don't really want to pay that. He could be non-tendered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. But if the rumor or whatever the report that it was Anthony DeComo that said that, like, Carson Bench, they like Carson Bench and they want him to be the future center fielder, but they're gonna probably try to do a stopgap center fielder. I think Tyrone Taylor is probably going to be your center fielder next year to start the year. I know, and that's tough to say. I don't even want that to happen because
I like Tyrone Taylor, but he can't be your everyday center fielder. Not even as a stopgap, in my opinion. Like, he could be your fourth, fifth outfielder.
The perfect guy would be Harrison Bader, because what he did this year, 2025. With the Twins, with the Phillies, had a really good year, but I don't know if he's. I think he has an option with Philly, so they're probably going to keep him.
Yeah, I don't know about Beta. They'll figure it out. Listen, it used to be Severino that was in charge of the OMG sign and all that.
That's the guy that I wanted to bring back, Severino. I'd rather bring back Severino than Sean Manaea any day.
I don't know about this, my guy.
Luis Jr.
I'm not a Luis Robert guy. I didn't want Luis Robert at the deadline. I didn't want Cedric Mullins. I didn't want none of them bums at the deadline. I would have been fine staying with. I wanted everybody else on the team to start playing better. The guys that were supposed to be better, like a Mark Vientos, like an Alvy. I wanted them to be better, and I was totally fine with with Tyrone Taylor in center field. I didn't want none of them bums. I knew Cedric Mullins wasn't going to help us. He's a bum.
Oh yeah, he's a bum.
Sorry. And if we were going to make a move, the move probably was a Harrison Bader at the deadline. We didn't make it because we're just dumb.
Either him or Laureano would have probably helped us. Laureano would have probably really helped.
I don't know about Luis Roberts, whatever the hell he want to call himself.
He has a $20 million option.
I don't know about that, dude.
Frank said Bader plays with passion, Randy. Yeah, he does, bro. He does.
Yeah, Bader plays with passion. But
I don't know.
Too, right? A stopgap, and it's like, I don't know. You got to, okay, you bring a stopgap, it got to be somebody that's going to have trade value. So that when the time comes to bring up a bench, you could then move that guy. Or maybe you move Taylor if Taylor comes back as the fifth guy, you know?
But if they want to start the year with Tyrone Taylor as the everyday center fielder, Met fans are not going to be happy. A lot of Met fans are going to be pissed off.
But I also think that depends. Again, that's like,
it depends on what you get. It depends
it's like
on
when
what
Alvarez got hurt and Luis Torrens was playing every day. And Luis Torrens is a great backup, probably one of the better backups in the league. But as an everyday player, no bueno.
No.
Right? But in that little time that Alvi was hurt, I had no problem with Torrens. And people would go crazy. Oh my gosh, Luis Torrens in it. He wasn't the problem. The problem was the other guys that are supposed to carry the team not getting the job done and being inconsistent, right? The problem was that Vientos stunk pretty much all year.
Vientos
as a whole, the team didn't hit with runners in scoring position. Yeah. That Lindor started off hot this year, but then struggled in the middle of the season. Yeah. That Soto started off cold, and even when we got hot, had very little impact as far as especially runners scoring position and all that stuff.
Yep.
So
sometimes you need luck, and the Mets didn't have luck. The Mets had no type of luck in 2025. I don't know what type of luck they had. I don't think they had any.
Roberts crushes lefty pitching. The Mets didn't want to trade the great Vientos for Luis Robert. Can Luis Robert stay in the damn field? How about that, guys? Luis Robert was a top 5 MVP 2 years ago. He's just 28. I get it. Listen. If we go get him, I'll root for him, and I hope it works out. He does. It doesn't attract me, but that's me. That's just me. This is blunt thought. Everybody can have their own blunt thought.
I think him, if he is with a team and he's motivated, I think he could be a good piece for the Mets if he's our center fielder because he has a great arm. He has really good speed. But can he stay on the field? And can he hit over 200? Because he didn't have a good year. But is that because he wasn't motivated with the White Sox? Who knows? Because before the trade deadline, bro, he was hitting. Before the trade deadline, he was hitting. So maybe he was trying to do good to get traded. But they never freaking traded him. So then he went back to being crap.
GG, I don't know what the hell kind of name this is, says, how about with a better medical staff, he can stay healthy. So we're going to count on the medical staff keeping Robert healthy, but we won't count on the coaches making some of these players better. Interesting. You lying. And is that what Stroman is doing? Bring him back. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to play for the World Baseball Classic. Strong.
Now as Kweisi comes back. Thank you, bro. Yes. I agree with that.
You definitely do.
260. Maybe 260, but yeah. Right now, out of my center fielder, what I mostly need is defense. And Tyrone Taylor could be that guy. It's just that then Nimmo and Soto need to pick him up on offense. And for a lot of part of this season, they weren't doing that.
No. But Tyrone Taylor's not an everyday player. Tyrone Taylor's a good platoon player. He's a guy
that should be his main role. But if you need him to fill in as an everyday guy, I don't think it's terrible if the other guys carry the load in the offense, as they should. And the problem was they didn't. Tyrone Taylor had a lot of big hits.
He did. Overall, at the bottom of the lineup for the Mets was crap. The bottom of the lineup was the big issue. They didn't have a top.
The big issue was the pitching. Everything was an issue.
No. Yeah, I'm talking about the hitting though. I'm talking about the bottom of the lineup. Like the bottom of the lineup was crap. Like there was nothing to really believe in. It was nothing a pitcher was scared about. Like you're not scared to face a Tyrone Taylor. Like
how many 8-hitters are pitchers really scared to face though, or 9-hitters? But like, let's be honest here.
But it was about Vientos, Alvarez, these guys that they wanted to. They thought they were going to be. They thought they were going to do good. They thought that was supposed to be Vientos and Alvarez were supposed to absolutely kill it for 2025, and they didn't. He didn't.
So Taylor had no big hits.
He did. He had big hits.
No,
I'm sure he had big hits. I'm sure.
According to Amizi, he didn't have big hits.
I'm sure he had some big hits. I don't know how many big hits, but I'm sure he had big hits.
Guys are funny as hell, man. Guys are funny as hell.
Once they play every day, their hitting gets exposed.
No, that's true. Yeah. Torrens, Taylor, for sure.
Taylor, definitely. Guys, because those are not everyday players. Taylor's a fourth outfielder. He's not a first outfielder. He's a fourth.
Yep.
And you see, game for WAR. What about a platoon of Taylor and Jet Williams until Benj comes up? Jet Williams ain't ready either. That's the thing. Like Jet Williams, he struggled in AAA. Ben struggled in AAA.
Yo, Amizi, Taylor with his terrible numbers had more big hits than your boy Soto. And his 41 home runs, 35 which was solo. Fuck out of here.
Yo, you're hilarious. That was funny though.
Yo, Randy, appreciate you, brother, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for joining me on this comeback as we come back and we bring back the rah-rah. You know what I'm saying? I thought about doing this show on my own, and when I realized the date, I was like, damn, bro's little bro's birthday. We should be doing it on our own. But Randy's a good guy to share the time with and have a good time. And you know, I'm gonna do enough solo shows. I didn't want to deal with M-Easy by myself. So I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We do this a lot, man. I got a couple of things in mind, and I want you to be a part of it. So
for sure.
Appreciate you. We'll do it again. But I'll let you get to your business. I know you got to get to work pretty soon. And like I said, man, make those guys at SNY look good. Everybody thinks it's about them, but it's about guys like Randy behind the scenes that make those guys look good. You know what I'm saying? So keep doing it, man. Keep doing your thing. I see the videos and stuff. Don't watch all of them because I don't have time, but I watch a lot of it.
Appreciate you, bro. I'll watch your videos too.
Anything you want to add here before we get out of here? Anything that we didn't touch on real quick? Like always, appreciate everybody watching, commenting, and appreciate all you guys, man.
No, I mean, the final thoughts, I would just say, listen, David Stearns has to really get out of his comfort zone and make these moves. You got to make these moves. You got to find out who you want on this team and who you don't want on this team. And you got to make these moves. You got to make this team better. You got to think about competing with the Dodgers. You got to think about competing in general. But you got to get better. Hands down, you got to get better. And if you don't, then I'm done with David Stearns. But we'll see what happens. There's gonna be a lot of intriguing stuff. Pete Alonso, a whole bunch of and you're gonna hear so many names. This is gonna be a wild off season. Obviously, because 2027, the pending lockout or whatever. This is gonna be a wild, wild off season. You're gonna hear crazy names. We will see what happens though. I just hope the Mets make the moves, the right moves. Not you don't know if every move could be right, but as long as you make the effort to make a big move like a Tarek Skubal or whatever, Ketel Marte, Jose Ramirez, who the hell knows, Joe Ryan, get better, hands down. But you can follow me on Randy Talks Mets on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. And yeah, bro, Hector, appreciate you, my guy. Have a good one.
Nah, no doubt, brother. Thank you, man. You already heard it. You heard it from him. Real quick, Randy, before you go, you want to trade Beatty for Addison Barger? Like the Blue Jays are gonna make that trade. Come on, guys. Let's be for real. This is why I say I don't like to come up with trade scenarios and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. Come on,
Addison
man.
Barger's a dog, bro. He's a
Uh,
dog.
listen, he's a dog, but he should have kept his ass at second base in game 6. But anyways.
He definitely should have. Alrighty.
Yo, Randy, have a good night, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, my guy.
And there it is, man. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Some hot stove. What the hell? How was
He had
that?
to put me on.
I don't know how that happened. I think I have an idea how that happened. But that's that. Some blunt thoughts, hot stove, some rah here on a Sunday night. But the bottom line, man, I think we all agree. All eyes on David Stearns this offseason. All eyes on David Stearns. We need to see what kind of direction he's going to take this team in. We're all hoping it's going to be in a direction to compete, to go out there, like Randy said, and challenge the Dodgers, to be able to compete with the league, to go out there and be able to legitimately try to win a division. I keep saying that should always be a goal along the way of winning the World Series. The World Series being the main goal, winning the division being one of the goals along the way. That should still matter. Are you going to act like the big market, number one market, president of baseball operations that you are? Or are you going to still act like every little penny counts and any misspent dollar is going to derail you for 2 or 3 years? Because that's not the case anymore. So if a Tyreek Scuba really becomes available, you need to make sure you're involved. Alcantara, Skeens, Joe Ryan, whoever the hell you guys want to mention, go out there and get an ace. Bring back Edwin Diaz. Bring back Pete Alonso. You want to sign Kyle Schwarber as well? Go ahead and sign Kyle Schwarber. I don't give a damn. Amass talent and figure it out once they're here. And if you believe in these young guys and you're not going to make moves because you're going to count on some of these young guys to come up and be players throughout the year, you better hope you're right. Whoever that may be. Carson Bench, Jet Williams, whoever else may come up. Obviously, we know the pictures. We saw Jonathan. I think we all believe. So you guys asking about Jonathan. I think it could be good. I think it could be good. He obviously needs some fine tuning. He obviously wasn't ready to come up like a Nolan McLean was. Like maybe even a Brandon Sproat showed that he was a little bit more ready than a Jonathan. Doesn't mean that Jonathan can't be good. It's the same as Mauricio. Just wasn't their time. But if it needs to go in a trade for Scooby, then see ya, Jonathan. But listen, I don't know about 2027 and a lockout and all of this stuff, work stoppage. Baseball can't be that stupid, man. Baseball can't be that stupid. You see people saying that all over the place. You can't come from this postseason and give us a work stoppage in 2 years. You cannot be that dumb. But I don't care about that right now. I want to win every damn year. And right now, my focus is winning in 2026. And I need to see David Stearns go out there and make moves that are going to lead to winning in 2026. No more this low risk, high reward nonsense. None of this crap. And I'm not saying that every move needs to be a big back page move, stealing headlines. But enough of this optional relievers nonsense and all of that stuff. And I understand building a bullpen is fluid. Guys are volatile. You can build a bullpen throughout the year. I get it. We tried that this year, though. It didn't work. I know most of the moves that we made at the deadline. Listen, everybody was saying the Mets won. The Mets built the best bullpen in baseball. Didn't work out. But that's done. There's some tough decisions to make right now. Edwin Diaz. Oh, you're not getting that. You're not getting that. And you can forget about that. Less analytics. Are you nuts? You're getting more analytics, bro. You're not looking at the moves that we're making. It's all about analytics, bro. That's why I laugh when people say, "Oh, yeah, get rid of Mendoza and this and." Who do you think is going to come in here? A manager that's good. Oh, bringing Carlos Beltran. You think Carlos Beltran is not going to be analytics? You'll probably be even more of a puppet than a Carlos Mendoza. But anyways, just look. I just seen the time. I won 42 minutes already of me talking nonsense. As always, man, we appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate every single one of you. Over 300 plus of you beautiful people up in here. The chat has been on fire. I apologize, couldn't get to all the comments. Try to get to as many as possible. We'll be back tomorrow, though. We'll be back tomorrow. I think I saw it in here early. Shout out to the homie Lisa. But Lisa, tomorrow we will be doing a more light-hearted version of Blunt Thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, as we will have another fan edition, super fan edition, and my homie Lisa will be joining me, and we'll just have some fun. That's more about the fan experience, her experience as a fan, how she became a fan, her experience at the ballpark, going to games, and all that good stuff. And then of course, her thoughts on the New York Mets, of course, because that's what we're all here for. But some people don't quite understand what the super fan edition is about. It's not just to break down the Mets. Plus, Blunt Thoughts, we do what the fuck we want to do. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. Hope you enjoy the rah-rah on a Sunday night, Sunday fun day. And shout out to the Knicks who actually won a damn game today. Because the Knicks, a lot of Knicks fans, the chatter starting to sound a lot like the Mets chatter. And that makes me sick. No shout out to the stupid Giants who continue to make me sick. Even if we may or may not have found a quarterback. Who the hell knows? But do we have a coach? Do we have a front office? Who the hell knows? Let me tell you something. New York sports really makes me sick. But what are we going to do? We love sports and we love our New York teams. Well, some of them. Fuck them Yankees. We don't give a damn about the Nets, the Jets, whatever, indifferent. It's all about the New York Giants, New York Mets, and the New York Knicks. But they make me sick as well. Have a good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Peace.
full of animals and we made ourselves with minimal. Fuck you, no subliminals. Putting in this work, nigga. That's why they feelings hurt, nigga. Swear we need a hearse cause we rep our shites to the dirt, nigga. If I'm in the club